Who is in the room is listening to my talk? Please raise your hands. If you are there, you may have an Odoo website. Have you ever wanted to have an all-integrated analytical tool to your content management system in order to be able to monitor the traffic on your website, to see how many products was sales on your website or the number of leads that were generated on your website? I'm sure you have. With Plausible, it's plausible. It's possible. Sorry. I'm Brittany, e-commerce and website expert here at Odoo, and welcome to my talk about analyzing your website traffic using Odoo Plausible Analytics. Here you have the QR code in order to access the pad if you have questions for the end of the presentation. So here is the agenda of today. We will tackle several topics. The first one will be, for sure, what's web analytics. Then we will jump to what's plausible. After, we'll address the different filters proposed by plausible. What's the KPI you have to look at in order to assess your website or to analyze it. And finally, we'll close the presentation with which KPI do you have. So which conversion KPI you have to look at and plausible propose. So let's jump directly in the presentation. But what's web analytics? Web analytics is the process of gathering data from your website's visits. Once the data are gathered, you will be able to measure them with an analytical tool, like Plausible. Once the measurement is done, you will be able to analyze your traffic thanks to KPI. The final goal of analytics is to take data-driven decision. Indeed, with analytics, you will be able to identify trends, optimize processes, or improve customer experience on your websites. I like to give the example of SEO strategies. Indeed, when you implement SEO strategies or search engine optimization strategies on your websites, you have to monitor these strategies to see if the decision you take in order to improve your website's referencement works. But what's Plausible? Plausible is an analytical software that will help you to understand what happened on your website. Plausible has several advantages. As you can see, it's easy to use and really intuitive. We'll see that later in the presentation. It has also the advantage to be really light, 75 times lighter than Google Analytics. It's open source and fully compliant with GDPR. Indeed, you do not need any cookies to run on your website to be able to run Plausible. All the data that you gather from the customer are completely anonymized thanks to tokenization. And Plausible is completely free on SaaS database, so on Odoo SaaS database. But unfortunately, on SH database, you will need some credentials, so you will need to pay for Plausible. But let's jump directly to Plausible. As you can see, Plausible is really easy to use, comprehensive. You have different data all in your dashboards, so different filters also. And you will have, at the end, the goal conversion. Here in Plausible, so Plausible proposed different filters, okay? So the different filter proposed by Plausible will be, for sure, for example, the different source of traffic on your website. You can find your campaign here, or maybe the source. So for example, Google or Facebook, YouTube. Um, you will be able to class your different page as the top page, the top entry page, or the top exit page. You will also be able to filter the data on countries, region, or cities here. And you will have the possibility to filter the visits of your website by the size of the display that is used. So, for example, desktop, mobile, the browser also, really useful, Chrome, Edge, Safari, to know how the people are interacting with your website, and the operating system like Windows or Android. At the end, you will have all the leads or the shop or other goal that you have set on your website to understand what happens. So you will tell me maybe, okay, it's cool to filter information on your website, but what can I do with those information? For me, it's really a game changer to have the possibility to filter information on your website. Indeed, if you filter information on your website, you will be able to take different key strategic decision. I will give you some of them. So, for me, one of the key strategic decisions that you can take thanks to the analytics given by Plausible is to propose a better user experience. Indeed, when you know from where your customer is coming and with which device they are visiting your website, you are able to propose a better user experience. So I will give you an example. Imagine that 60% of the people are visiting your website with a mobile. What can I say about that? Indeed, you will need to have a website that is improved for mobile. A second information, for example, that you can have is about the operating system. You can improve your website for the operating system used to visit your website. So a second key strategic business decision you can take when you have insights from Plausible is to propose an adapted content strategy. Indeed, when you know from where geographically your customer are coming from, you can adapt your content to these people. Indeed, imagine you have 30% of the visits that come from China. You will maybe adapt your content to the Chinese culture or to translate the website in Chinese. It's the same for marketing strategy. When you know from where your customers are coming from, you may adapt your marketing strategy and the content of your marketing strategy to those people. So you won't advertise on a website or on social network the same ways for American people than Asian people. You could also have a better resource allocation. Indeed, when you know from where your customers are coming in terms of geography, you can maybe have better targeted marketing campaign. Also, when you know on which device they are coming to your website, you can have a better development allocation to in order to fit with the device or the operating system or the platform from where your customers are coming. So, and when you mix all those filters, you can have pretty interesting information. Let's have a look. I will take the people who come from India. Okay, so I have all my filter that has been adapted following the people who come from India. I will take the visits from Google, what can I see? I see that the manufacturing part of my website or the CRM part of my website is really appreciated by my visitors. What conclusion can I do? I can, for example, create a new marketing campaign over the CRM part of my website to drain people to those part of my websites with a campaign. Let's do a second example to show you. Now I will take the people that come from Belgium with my marketing campaign here about the Odoo experience 2024 with influencer. What information can I have? Okay, I can say that the conversion rate about this campaign was pretty good. It's around 10% of the people have taken an action on my websites. Yes, taken action on my website. So you see how it is easy to use Plausible. You will say me, okay, it's interesting to have filters, but for me, it's really a game changer. But without KPIs, you won't be able to analyze the data that come from your websites and filters by all the filters proposed. So I propose here a set of KPIs you should look at when you are analyzing your website in order to understand what happens. The first one is unique visitors. Unique visitors are the visitors that it's the number of people that visit your website. But looking only unique visitors for me is not enough. You should have a look at the bounce rate and the visit duration at the same time. Why? Because if the unique visitors are going up, but the bounce rate is also going up, and the visit duration is going down, I can tell you that the acquired traffic isn't a qualitative traffic. Imagine now you have spent $10,000 in a marketing campaign to acquire this traffic. Would you be happy? Personally, I won't. The second KPI to look at, for me, it's the total page views. But it's the same way as the unique visitors. Having a total page views that is going up, it's not all the time a good information. Why? Because if the bounce rate is going up and the visit duration is going up, and in the same time the conversion rate of your website is going down, I can tell you that maybe your customer experience is less good than before, and your customer are not converting anymore on your website, or converting less. The third KPI for me to have a look at is maybe the top exit page. Why? Because imagine now that my dashboard page is one of my main page of my website, but it's on my top exit page. What can I tell? I can tell that the customer experience of this website, of this page, is not good and need to be improved in order to not be anymore in a top exit page. The fourth and last KPI I would look at is the conversion rate. For me, it's maybe one of the most important KPI. Why? Because conversion rate represents the percentage of people that are making an action on your website. Let's now finish this talk about which conversion KPI does Plausible propose. Indeed, when I go in my Plausible dashboard, I see at the bottom of my page some goal conversion that are standardly proposed in Plausible. Let's do some action now on my database that I have prepared for today. Okay, I have a drone shop, and I would like to make a purchase on my shop. Okay, for example, I will purchase this drone. I will add it to my cart. I will view my cart, make my checkout, put all my information, Okay. I will put here. Okay. Test here. Okay. I can continue my checkout. I will pay now, and now I will go directly to my database in my reporting analytics, and I can see now that I have a sales that has been done in my website. I will open it, and I will see that I have here a shopping cart that has been validated for this amount. It's pretty good information to be able to follow the sales that has been done on your website. Let's do a second action. So the second conversion goal will be about the lead generation. Let's imagine now I am on my website. I will fill my forms with my information. Here. Okay. I will apply my forms and see what happens in my database. Here, you see that a lead was generated directly from my website. Here, I have a lead that has been generated through the Contact Us page. Let's try last things. The last things will be about this block. I will click, and I will see that I have a 404 error page. It's pretty bad for your SEO. Plausible will indicate you directly which page is generating a 404 error. So here I see that I have a 404 error, and which page is generating this error. It's really interesting for websites to know which page is broken. Let's have a last try. With, apart the three custom goals that Plausible proposed in standard, Plausible is also proposing custom goals that you can implement by yourself. For the presentation of today, I had implement a custom goal on every page of my checkout process. The first one will be on my cart here. The second one in my checkout. Okay, I will redo the checkout. And you will see that Plausible will tell you on which page the process has been dropped. I will finish my checkout here and go back to my database directly to see what happens. Okay, I have my custom goal here, and I've set a custom goal at each page of my checkout. Imagine now I'm just taking a drone from my shop and okay, view my carts and abandon my carts. Okay, my analytics software was triggered by this demand. Okay, I can see here that indeed my shopping cart has 4 visits and my other page have 3 visits. So it's really, really interesting when you're analyzing a funnel on your website or a path on your website to understand from where your customer has dropped his visits. So it's all for the presentation of today. If you have any question, don't hesitate to ask me by the QR code on the presentation. Thank you.
Thanks for your presentation.
Thank you.
Hello, everyone. We have actually 1 or 2 questions.
Yes.
Pretty detailed. The first one is, how do we integrate these data points? For example, campaign source, performance marketing, UTMS,
Yes.
in Odoo opportunities.
Yes. So indeed, in Odoo, so here you have the link tracker, on Odoo in the e-commerce. If you implement a link tracker, you will have the possibility to generate links that are directly put on your CTA on your campaign. And this link will be directly recognized by Plausible, and you will have the information in your dashboard.
Thank you. And the following, still the same question. Can that allow also happen if you don't have an Odoo website
I
to
don't
track?
understand the question. So, are you able to go? The third one?
Also happen if you don't have an Odoo website?
Can that also happen if you? No, no.
No.
Unfortunately, because Plausible is connected to Odoo, it's an iframe that we create on the Odoo website to have it. So, as you see in my website here, if I go in my configuration here, settings, I will go down directly. You have Plausible here, so you have to tick the box first to enable to have Plausible on your website, and you have all your credential here. So no, if you don't have websites and the Odoo, it doesn't work. But you have all the analytic software or analytic tools.
The next question is, are you able to compute, for example, average basket value on abandoned and also returning customers?
I don't know. For the question is no on Plausible, but yes, with the dashboard we are currently, for the moment, developing in Odoo. So with the team of BI, we are working in order to develop pretty good dashboards in order to be able to see the abandoned card, the number, the average price of the card that were abandoned. So yeah.
Right, then with dashboards. And the last one that I have so far is...
And just to add, it will maybe arrived in a few months, so in the next minor version.
All right, thank you. And the last one we have so far, can you see what visitors search for in Odoo in the analytics?
Not in Plausible, because as I said, you have the top pages. So as I showed before, here you have the top pages that was search. Okay, but as I said, the data that are collected from your customer is completely anonymized with tokenization, so you cannot link a visit to a customer or to a visitors. So no, but you can see which page are the most visited page, but you cannot retrace exactly
The journey, let's say.
a journey on a website.
Thank you. I
Thank
think
you.
so far we don't have any more questions.
Thank you.